Welcome guys. So I will quickly create one new project in Jenkins. I'm not going into details of how to install Jenkins because however from next section we will install Jenkins from scratch in Linux, and there are different things which you need to know there, and everything I will explain in detail of installing Jenkins from scratch in Linux machines, because in real time I am sure that 99% times people will never use Windows operating systems for deployments and hosting. All will use Linux or Ubuntu machines. So you should really understand how to install Jenkins from there, right? So I don't want to waste much time of talking how to install in Windows. This I'm just showing to get a basic idea for you so that you can correlate everything when I started doing in Linux machines from next section. Okay, if I directly start doing that, you will really not understand what is the overall goal we are trying to achieve here. Okay, so new item, I'm going to create a new project in Jenkins. You can say first deployment freestyle project and say okay. So we were just trying to replicate all the manual steps. So first of all, our goal is to build this project and create var file, right? And then copy the var file from here and place it in that web apps folder of Tomcat. So let's quickly do that. Now, so this code is already present in my GitHub repository. Okay, so that's what I told you in the last lecture. So you can download this entire code, whatever I am showing you here, from this repository, github.com/Rahul Shetty Academy/DevOps Basics. I can also share this GitHub in this lecture to download. So in this URL, you can simply clone this, right? This is the one way, or you can download a zip file to get this entire code. Now, first of all, Jenkins need to know where exactly your code is present. So instead of giving my local Eclipse or local workspace path, as I have already my code in my GitHub repository, right? I will connect this GitHub to my Jenkins. Okay, it's very simple. So clone or download is there, right? Clone with HTTPS, copy this URL, and then source code management, you say that I want to get the project what I want to build from GitHub. Select this link, radio button, and then give the repository URL here. So you can get this repository URL by copying this from here, clone or download, and then you can copy this URL and simply place it. So this is public repository. I kept open to everyone so that you need not give any credentials to log in, to authenticate yourself to download this repository. Okay, so when you run this code, automatically Jenkins will go to this URL and download this entire code into this Jenkins job, and it will run commands whatever you provide. Okay, now it's already in master branch. I did not have any other branches, so it says branch is master. So let's leave it as a master only. Good. Now add build step. Invoke Maven targets, because Maven commands is what we are trying to give here, right? So what is the command? Test install. You need not give mvn here because it's already Maven section, so you can skip this mvn command. Mvn stands for Maven, right? Test install. So basically, now when you run this project, first of all, it will get the entire code from this GitHub URL where you have the code, and on that project it will run this command test install, so that var file is now created. Now what next? Build is done. Post build action is now that you have to copy the var file which is created in target folder to your Tomcat folder here, right? That is what you need to do. We can still do that from Jenkins as well. So do you remember what is the command you should use in Windows to copy file from one location to another? Let me show you that. There is a simple command called copy which will do that for us. Now let's say you are on your project level. So where is your webapp.var file? So right now you are at hello world here, right? So from here, if you want to go to your project, So you have to first go to web app, and from web app you have to go to target folder. Okay, so cd web app / target. So you have to give this so that your current directory now will be in target path, because here is where web app target. So here is where you have your var file, right? So we are navigating to that path from your main project. So directly, first of all, right click properties and you will get your project path. Go to that first project path with cd space, and from there you need to give this web app target. Go to that var file. So here simple command is copy. So copy var file, because we are actually already in that location now. So if you say copy, then it will search in this location, and then where you have to place, you have to give that path. Okay, right. So let me delete it now, and this is the path where you have to paste, because your tomcat is present there. So right click, and this is where you have to paste it. Okay, so enter. You see that one file is copied and webapp.var is present here. Awesome, right? So same commands we will give in Jenkins, so that Jenkins will automatically do this. So that's where we will build the deployment jobs in Jenkins. So we should not do everything this manual. If you push one button, all this should happen automatically. That code should come from GitHub, and let's say developer have written new code and he pushed into the GitHub. So with one button in Jenkins, Jenkins should go to the GitHub, get the latest code, build it, create var file, and then write something which pushes that var file from their code to the Tomcat server. So that automatically we can say deployment is complete. Okay. So post build actions, here you have to one second, add build step only. In build step only you can say execute window batch command, because this is window command, right? So first of all, when you download this project, automatically control will be on the project home directory, which is this. Okay, from here you have to go to cd web app / target. First let's give that command cd web app / target. So once you have reached the target folder, in the next line you can provide your actual command. Can we copy this? Right, awesome. And that's it. That's all you need to do. For demo purpose, I will delete it again. However, from the next sections, I would show if there is already file present, how to delete and how to add new folders. So we would ultimately, our goal is to do all this from Linux. It's not just these topics. There are so many topics we will bring into picture, like Docker, Ansible. At this point, you may not understand everything. After each and every section, I will show you what are disadvantages we have with the existing process, and then I will bring one new DevOps tool topic, and then I would show how this tool addresses this issue. And after that section, I would show one more disadvantage, and then I will bring another DevOps tool into picture. So like this, step by step from scratch, I will show how to use all available tools to build a robust deployment process with continuous integration and continuous delivery. Awesome. So let's click apply and make sure you select your Maven project which you have in your local system. Apply, save, and then let's try to build this. And you can go to console always to see how the output is present. So basically you should have Maven also installed in your system to run this. So I am not going into stress that, as I told, same reason that we will start doing this in Linux. So I'm not going in depth of installing Maven, Java, everything in our Windows. Right, success. Deployment is done. So whatever we did till now, we did through automated Jenkins. Now go back to your folder and you see that we just deleted and you have var file here. Great, right? And there is one more manual process here. Okay, you are manually clicking build now button, but you should develop in such a way that if tomorrow, if any developer pushes their code into this GitHub repository, because this is where code is lying and everyone work with their new implementation, right? After they add some new code, when they push the new code into the GitHub, Jenkins should keep on listening to your GitHub repository. Okay, so whenever there is a new code checked in into GitHub repository, this job should automatically trigger. That's what we should do it. Okay, now I'm not going to explain that, but that's our ultimate goal. So every time who will come and select this build now? Okay, every day in a enterprise projects, 10 or 20 people will check in into the repository. So to make sure if everything is working fine or not, so you need not come and click every time. So once they push code, you should have some trigger notified through Jenkins, so that Jenkins will be aware of new commit happened and it will automatically have this build now selected, so that it will build and deploy. Okay, so that's where we need to bring that integration. So that can be done. Let me show you. I'm clicking on configure button. So there is a way to do that. Yeah, build triggers. So you can have this option GitHub hook trigger. So that means it will be listening to GitHub, and whenever there is some polling happens or commit happens, it will automatically execute this job. But for that you have to add some plugins in Jenkins and tie up it to GitHub. There is some process which we are not going to do it in this lecture. In upcoming section I will show you, right? And that way we can automatically trigger it. So this process also we can automate with Jenkins. Alright, so with this knowledge, in the next lecture we are going to see what is continuous integration and what is continuous delivery with neat diagrams what we have in the AWS website. With this you will clearly understand now what all these are. We'll see that in our next lecture. Thank you.